Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to the Brazilian Grand Prix. We are here tonight in the Autodromo Ascas Carlos Pache in Interlagos, which I think I said that completely wrong. However, anyway, let's carry on with it. Shall we just call it Sao Paulo, shall we, in Interlagos? It's a 2.6 mile circuit. This one is. This is quite an old school circuit. Of course, the barriers are quite close together. If you're going to go off, you're going to go off in a very heavy manner. Of course, I may be feeling a bit. I think that I may be feeling a bit rough today, of course, Monday and all that, but I don't think I'm feeling near as enough as rough as German as he was celebrating clinching his world championship for ALR. That's his second title in ALR in terms of championships, because he won silver, didn't he, a few seasons back then, and in only his second season in gold, he has won the world championship, which is a pretty incredible stuff indeed. Then he is the second. Well, I technically, he'll be third, won't he, if you think about it? But he is technically the third fastest driver to win an ALR Gold Championship. Because Nigel, of course, won it in his first season. Granty also won it in his first season as well. German has won it in his second season in ALR. So pretty impressive stuff indeed, and fantastic for German. Of course, he is the fourth ever world champion of ALR Gold. Supreme stuff. He joins the Hall of Fame then. Hall of Fame class now of Nigel, of Granty, of Emerson, and now German has put himself in the immortal wing now of being ALR Gold champion indeed, and some fantastic stuff for German. And I must say, it's been an absolute privilege and a pleasure to watch German and Emerson really go toe to toe. I would personally, from a selfish point of view, I would love to have it gone down to the wire in Abu Dhabi. We've only ever had one championship go down to the wire in Abu Dhabi in ALR in gold so far. Hopefully we'll get something similar like what we're seeing in the actual world of Formula One later on this season. But next season when, of course, ALR Season 7 starts off their venture in what is going to be a very interesting one indeed then. But yes, congratulations to German. The last couple of races, you do win it over the course of the whole season, don't you? But the last couple of races for German especially was just magical stuff indeed. And he went on to a completely different level. I couldn't believe it, seeing it as well. And Emerson, who has been at such a high standard in ALR since making his debut back in Season 2 of Azerbaijan, it is pretty. He's always at a high level. It is definitely very much ALR's equivalent of Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. As them two are in a class of one, I would say. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. But congratulations to German, the fourth ever champion of ALR, and really good stuff indeed. I'm looking forward to see what German can do next season as well, because I think that he is very close to being the second most successful driver in ALR history in terms of Grand Prix wins. I'm sure he's only one or two behind Granty now, who was on, I think, 13, 14 wins then before he called it a day in ALR. I would love to see Granty back in ALR, fighting with German and Emerson as well. But hopefully we may get that. That might be my wish later on down the line then. But I do love competitive stuff then. Right then, let's go on the race, shall we? In silver, it's also been decided as well. And young Tommy was the first champion of ALR this season. Of course, he is now he's covered in gold on our road championship table now. Fanjo, did great job last week, by the way. Fantastic stuff for the Williams driver. He is now extended his lead over himself and Immortal to 17 points, who's in third position. Then the battle for gold places is still very much on. Immortal and Fanjo have absolutely accelerated up the leaderboard. I'd love to have seen them fighting with young Tommy throughout the season. Dylan is having a dip, unfortunately, down in fourth position. He's still 5 points behind Immortal. He's got an outside chance. Dylan has there. Todd in fifth position now. It's sunny here tonight, and I was actually I was going to put a cheeky fiver on then if I was a better man of it being a wet race then, or wet qualifying session. But I haven't seen the weather so far yet. Sixth position is Wilson. Then seventh position is Gordo on the same amount of points as New Potato. Then in eighth position as well. New Potato then really, he should have been hard. He had such an unlucky start to the season, as he's done right to be an eighth, to be fair. Serious Mushroom, great drive, last about his best of the season in my humble opinion. He's got in front of his teammate Far, who's down in 10th position there. Far faster speed, but unfortunately does seem to come a cropper with the doesn't he, with the amount of penalties that he has had. In the relegation zone is Kez, who's out qualifying. Then Senna, who is now the new driver in the Aston Martin, and Florin in the McLaren as well. 2 points in front, 2 points behind Reflections at the moment. Slayer only 4 points in front of Reflections in 16th position as well. Then, so it's getting very close in the relegation battle, isn't it? In the Constructors' Championship tonight, that could be wrapped up there because I think the AlphaTauri team just needs 6 points really, and they're out of reach of the Mercedes team. Then Mercedes needs almost a full shebang of points here tonight, really, to even remotely get anywhere close to the AlphaTauri team. But I think that it's almost done and dusted unless AlphaTauri have a horror show tonight. Both Mercedes and Todd and Immortal really step up their game. 91 points in front of the Williams team in second position. McLaren are 110 points further back now, but Haas are only a point back now. Can they get themselves back into fourth? And Alpine, strong performance in the latter stages, are now up to 6 in the Constructors' Championship. Alfa Romeo, 31 points beyond the French manufacturer then. And 8th position is Ferrari, 1 point behind their Italian counterparts. And Red Bull are in 9th position. Aston Martin are in 10th tonight as well then. So there it is, and that's all me. That's me stuff all done. Thus we got intermediate tyres on for Fangio. He's doing his best Kimi Raikkonen impression from the Malaysian Grand Prix, albeit Kimi Raikkonen had those 4 wet tyres on, didn't they? Across the line they come then, and I've actually turned my TV on to mute, which is why I couldn't hear anything at all then, so I got a bit worried. We've got Gunnar, good luck Silver. We've got Gordo, hello. Paige McGinnon, Becca, get out of the Atlantic. Goodness gracious me. And by the way, for the first time ever in ALR history tonight then, we have an all-female and all-ladies team in the Aston Martin team, and goodness me, there is some class in that Aston Martin here tonight, and good stuff indeed there, absolutely love it. Of course, that's the beauty about Formula 1 and the beauty about esports, all that kind of stuff is, and it doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, or any racer whatsoever. Of course, we all race as one, and maybe just a slogan or whatever you seem to think sometimes in the world of Formula 1. However, I'm sure that they are going to try and they are definitely thinking about spreading a positive message across the world. I think in ALR and other leagues like PB as well, and it's not just a slogan, of course, it is something that both leagues are very proud of, aren't they? So it doesn't matter, does it, as long as we all share the same passion, and that is Formula 1 then. Gordo goes fast as on an 0.8 to set us on our way in a qualifying trim tonight. And just take a look to see who else out there at the moment. We've got Todd then, who's very much the cream of the crop in terms of qualifying then. Gunnar saying, you said it better than I expected you to be honest there. I'm not sure if Gunnar is talking about me or someone else there, but I don't think I've said anything too well, to be fair. Todd coming out of turn 14, something like that. We have got Sunny Quali and race. Goodness gracious me, have we really? Oh gosh, Todd's gone faster by half a second in front of Gordo in second today. Young Tommy then is saying evening everyone as well. Good evening to the champion, Young Tommy, the 4th ever champion in silver history then. Of course, Silver, we do have a promotion and relegation spot, don't we? So that is why it's Keza and Fangio both out of qualifying at the moment. Fangio looks like that he's had a cropper somewhere, unfortunately. Manada on circuit as well, as is Young Tommy coming through Magulio the dive before going up into Young Cow. Thank you last night, by the way. We had a lot of views in Brazil last night, of course. I think that was for German's championship coronation, wasn't there? Great stuff indeed there for German, and really good stuff for Can he and Nigel become the Constructors' Champions. That'll be Nigel's 2nd ever Constructors' Championship under his belt then. Young Tommy goes faster so far then in the AlphaTauri. What about Mark Walshman other then? As she's been here, there and everywhere this season, hasn't she? She's been at the Williams and now she's in the Young Tommy is had a cropper, and look, he's in the barrier there. Young Tommy is in the barrier and he's out of qualifying here. Oh, good grief, and so Young Tommy is not making it very easy for the AlphaTauri team, is it? Good gosh then. Oh dear, and that's not good at all for Young Tommy. Now I think we had I'm trying to work out, we had a weird incident, didn't we, in 2002 in free practice 4 or 3. We used to have a lot of practice sessions back in the day. We also had a race warm-up as well then, which was about a 37-minute session there. Arnaldo goes fastest at the moment, and however, young Tommy was 2 times second quicker than that, but young Tommy is out of qualifying along with Keza and Fanjo. A lot of the so-called big name drivers that in ALR Silver are currently at the back part of the field. That Gordo is going for another time run as well. What about Dylan then, the bronze champion, which I very much am ashamed to say, but I haven't said it too often this season, have I? Because Dylan has been so good in silver that I forget that he was in bronze last season, and he is quicker so far by 0.3 of a second there. Lovely jubbly. And now he goes Equals in the beautiful Papaya McLaren, and he goes down into turn 1, 2 and 3. Of course, Florin not here tonight, and that means that Florin only has 2 races to get himself out of the relegation zone now, so he's going to be sweating buckets at the end of this season, isn't he? Equals going down the back straight then. We've got Scooby Stew then, even everyone. Come on, Mushroom, top 6 tonight then. No chance. Pads broke. Turning right is a nightmare, and so Serious Mushroom already has got some issues then in that car. Reflections out of qualifying. As well, I've got toothache. We have Sir Tommy, nice wall. Wanted to start from the back, had to check my pace in manual gear. Said, what's up, Tommy? Fancy seeing you here again then, from Fanjo as well. Then, so we're just watching Equals then, going down Magulio then, the dive, and we're on board then. Equals then doesn't want to take too much of the outside curve. He's at a 51 in the second split time before it comes out of Young Cow, and builds up the power now. 6th gear, 7th gear, then DRS and right on the mini. There it is, and it's Equals there, very much almost off the circuit there. In real world of Formula 1, I said last, I'm going to say it again. In real world of Formula 1 there, that is deemed as a illegal part of the track, isn't there? Because that's the technically the pit in there, isn't it? Or the pit name for that. Here comes Paige Baguette then with a new, oh goodness me, she's got a new tag, or what's it called? It's a gamer tag, isn't there? It's RRL then. So here comes Paige Baguette then, as now we just have to call her Baguette, I think, then, as she comes down at the back straight then. Of course, this circuit's had so much history in Formula 1, hasn't it? I'm thinking about going down that back straight as well, and the first thing that comes to mind is when one Pablo Montoya got taken out by a certain Verstappen. It wasn't Max, though, it was Jos the Boss in 2001 then, when Jos Verstappen driving one of the most beautifulest F1 cars you'll ever see in your lifetime. I don't mean the Jordan, that is definitely certainly at the top of the list, my list anyway. Of course, it is the arrows, it was the orange arrows, wasn't it? Sponsored by Orange as well. But that's probably why I like the car, because I do love a bit of orange, mainly because my hair is orange. Out of Young Cal then for Baguette, and now just coming up into the line as well. Of course, just coming out of that final turn as well, 2003, where Mark Webber crashed heavily and Fernando Alonso came steaming in there, didn't he? And he unfortunately didn't adhere to the yellow flags, did he? Fernando Alonso didn't that day, and because of that, really a major incident there as well. But he still finished on the podium. Moreover, it was a very strange podium because there was only 2 drivers up there with Alonso. Unfortunately, had to be taken to a medical facility or a hospital or a medical centre, and of course, Jack Fisichella, who 2 weeks later found out they won the Brazilian Grand Prix after the countback was a little wrong there from the FIA. And so it's nothing new that the FIA do struggle to get some of their decisions right then, as we've seen in Saudi Arabia last night. It was a very good, entertaining race, don't get me wrong. However, there, I think that Christian Horner said that we did miss the experience of Charlie Whiting, who died on the eve of the 2019 Australian Grand Prix. But having said that, though, it's very different. Whoever is going to step into Charlie Whiting's shoes, then it was such a big deal, wasn't it? I mean, you're always going to be compared to the great man Charlie Whiting because because the amount of experience he had in Formula 1, and of course there's always going to be some issues there in terms of governing the sport and all that stuff. But Michael Massa getting a lot of flack out there over the past couple of hours or so, as maybe some of his decisions may not have been may not have been too good then, but having said that, some of his decisions he doesn't take, though, it's done by the race stewards there, isn't there? And Michael Massey can then sometimes pass on information and all that kind of jazz there. So we're just dropping down the order. Bradfield there coming out of Young Cow as well. We've got a Mercedes just in front of us here. It's Bradfield there. Oh, goodness me. Wandered off the circuit there. Bradfield is there. And again, it went very wide. Then that's going to affect him coming up the hill. Then, of course, you want to carry as much speed as you can out of Young Cow. He's also got a lovely bit of slipstream here from a Mortal who invalidated his time last time. Bradfield goes into a very nice 6th position. Lovely. So it's now just coming down into Magulio, the dive end. We've got Tommy and just chilling in the back. Then Gordon saying a bit slow there. Becca saying a competitive qualifying then. Well, at the moment there is Dylan who's fastest by 3/10 of a second there from Maldonado in second position. Equals in third there, very close between Equals and Maldonado. And then we've got V Todd 4/10 of a second back at the moment. Here comes Mushroom 6 fast at the moment. Yellow flag in sector 2 is one of the Williams cars is just crawling at the moment. I think it's Spud, it's Nude Potato then. And goodness me, unfortunately Nude Potato then maybe revealed a bit more than he should have done, unfortunately, on that circuit, and because of that, he had to abandon that time. Gurman saying, goal of Brazil, then, of course, Gurman, the champion of gold, then, of course, we had a lovely, tribute, and it wasn't a lovely tribute at all, really, because it came from me. However, it was a lovely, I'd say that's a lovely piece of whatever I was doing at the beginning of the stream then, so fantastic. Yes, with Gurman, the 4th ever champion in ALR Gold then as well, and of course, he is, he's very close to becoming the 2nd best ever driver in ALR as well in terms of stats, and which we'll have a look at that in gold next week when we go down under for the Australian Grand Prix, of course. As Australia then is usually the first race on the circuit. However, this season it's number 19 there, isn't it? Excuse me a minute. There we go, much better. So just watching far into the middle part of the lap as well before coming down into Magulio. All I think about is you getting taken out by the safety car, Sean. Unfortunately, that's all I think about as well around here. But of course, a rogue Bernd Mylander. People are giving Michael Massey a bit of a talking to, a bit of a turn off. I think should be giving Bernd a bit of a turn off as well for taking me out. That was absolutely horrific scenes. However, what wasn't horrific and was quite funny when Bernd took out Ayrton in Hungary, which was quite funny actually. I always remember that for quite a long time. Here's New Potatoes go quite quick at the second section there. FIFA Beefy, who returned last week after a couple of races out then. Didn't have a very good return, did he, in Mexico? But let's see if he does a bit better around here tonight. And Potato goes fast there by just under a 10th of a second, by a 600th of a second there to be precise. We got a car just wandered in front of Wilson now. I don't think Wilson's going to be too happy with that car there, as he was on a quick lap, albeit he did invalidate, unfortunately. Gordon saying, blimey, 7 minutes left, and there's only 8 folks with some times on the board there. Well, we've got 5 minutes left now, and FIFA Beefy has gone 8 fastest. We've now got 12 times on the board. Young Tommy out of the race out of qualifying, and Fanjo out of qualifying as well, as is Keza and Reflection. So we're going to be losing one more driver in this qualifying session, but who will it be then? Siege is out there. Can he Siege today? I've been saying that all season. I'm going to keep saying that. Until the cows come home. I don't know where the cows are bidden in, but that's a lovely old traditional British saying. I don't know if it's a British saying. I know it's definitely was a saying in the old Gloucestershire area. But Wilson then, this is not going to count as a lap then because he's invalidated. So let's go on board the Papaya McLaren and go over the grid hatch as well. It's a very unusual grid around here, isn't it? Because of course with one part of the grid is pointing up, the other part of the grid is pointing down. Evening hashtag at Tommy the Goat then. So we've also got young Tommy as well, saying that Sloughy indeed then called Slough at his best race of his career last night in Gold then. Was certainly in terms of pace wise, isn't it? Definitely. Then I feel that he deserves a lot more in that race. FIFA Beefy going for a second by the chair and going up to 6 now. Good times there for FIFA Beefy. FIFA Beefy and TK, who's it's in the pits moment. Those two drivers then I was very boldly claiming that both those drivers was going to get a first Grand Prix win this season. However, I may be slightly off the mark on that one, but those two drivers have got so much talent, haven't they, in abundance, that they cross, especially at the beginning of the season, very, very much like the Williams cars, actually. They were so unlucky to begin the season, weren't they? There was a lot of tears, wasn't there, in the Alpine car and in the Williams car as well. Cross line, Siege goes 6 fastest. What about Wilson? Wilson goes 10 fast as well. Baguette then is looking very perilously close then to the drop zone at the moment. Let's see how this one plays out. And Bradfield is also very close to the drop zone as well. We're on board Bradfield then, accelerated up the hill as well then for Bradfield, pointing the car beautifully well then. That's a very pointy car, which Bradfield, I know, does enjoy a pointy car. Out of young Cal then, and coming up to the grid answers well then. It's a lovely sunny day here in Brazil. Bradfield goes a tenth of a second behind himself and Wilson. They just seem to can't stay away from each other, can they? We've got Slayer, who's still got a default helmet then, which I'm absolutely horrified by. However, he does have 2 more race weekends then to try and sort that out. FIFA Beefy is very happy with his time then. He is back in the garage. And now just coming up just coming into turn 7. I figured there was a football draw tonight, wasn't there, of some kind, and unfortunately I was missing that because I was starting streaming, which is a bit annoying then. So if anyone can tell me who Liverpool's got, then that would be fantastic. I don't know what the draw is actually. Is it the FA Cup draw? I think it must be. It's around that time of the year, isn't it? I do love the FA Cup. I really wish that some teams would definitely pay more attention to it, but I do like it when the minnows of like Newport and things like that, and maybe even Torquay as well, do well in the FA Cup. Then, however, did Torquay host Tottenham last season or something? I can't remember. Well, they did host someone, a team that was around the mid-table of the Premier League, wasn't it? Slayer going up 9 fast, had a good time indeed there for Slayer. Slayer is very good in the old qualifying session. This is TK. Looks like he's not going to participate in this qualifying session either. So we're just going down into turn 4. And here comes Serious Mushroom, and Serious Mushroom is making his 81st start tonight. Hang on, let me get up. Let me get up my old spreadsheet. Yes, 82nd Grand Prix start tonight, which means that there are 82 Grand Prix that we've ever had in silver. So Serious Mushroom has never missed a single Grand Prix. Liverpool against Shrewsbury. Thank you very much, everyone. Good stuff. So I say I'm going to be definitely watching that. I hope it's on the BBC. Actually, I do enjoy. Is the FA Cup? Oh gosh, no dear, that's not good. And at V-Top then, one of the members of the Mercedes team then that wants to do well in tonight's race and to keep the constructors' hope alive, and a very slim chance then, but unfortunately he is out of qualify there. He's gone off, and I wonder if he's had a bit of a tail swapper there, or a tail, he's had a bit of a, unfortunately he's had a bit of a steering into the slide there, as Paige doing her best at lawnmower impression there. Lovely stuff indeed there. Oh goodness me, oh no! Oh dear! And unfortunately, Baguette was a bit too keen, I think. Now, unfortunately, and she is not going to get out of it. She's going to be out of qualifying as well. Paige Baguette is there, and I think she's going to be a bit unhappy with that. And I think that she may have even missed a checker flag anyway. Unfortunately for Baguette, then a bit of the rally across that. Kimi Räikkönen tried a bit of the rally as well, didn't he? Unfortunately, didn't do too well in 2010 and 11, and I think the Baguette's choice as well, maybe rallying is not going to be her second choice then after a Formula 1 career. However, having said that, then she's got a long way to go for her F1 career as done and dusted then, but unfortunately that's not very good, which is a shame. As James saying, it looks like intermediate weather then. Saying, I think we've got Shrewsbury. Good stuff indeed then. Yes, thank you very much, guys, for keeping me up to date then. Lovely stuff indeed then. Is we just got a lovely shot of the pit lane at the moment. Good stuff. Gunnar saying, go on, Mushroom. Got an ALR loyalty card yet then? I think it's in the post there. So now just going into the pits as well then. As Gordo saying, home or away, everyone is. If you know, then I would like to know as well then. But then again, I used to love watching home and away, but then again I think I was more of a neighbours fan then. As the Red Bull is now being wheeled back into the garage like that. In terms of milestones like that, I don't think we've got any milestones, have we? Then of course this would be Farf's 31st start in silver. Maldonado starts her 38th Grand Prix here in silver tonight as well. Young Tommy on his 31st Grand Prix start as well, as he had his 30th start last time out in Mexico, as did Jake the Slayer as well, and Farf as well, actually. Goodness gracious me then. Vitov making his 57th Grand Prix start as well in silver. So in the end of that one, we lost quite a lot of teams in this one, didn't we? I think we lost 7 in the end there. So Reflections down in 20th position, Keza in 19th, and 18th position is TK, Fanjo in 17th, Baguette in 16th, Vitod 15th, and Sir Young Tommy in 14th position. 7 drivers are out, unfortunately then. But hopefully, don't worry about that. Any of you fans of those bottom 7 drivers, they will be in action for the Grand Prix itself. Top of the timesheets is New Potato by 5,700 a second from the bronze champion, the 2 bronze champions out of season 1 and 3. Top of the timesheets here in Brazil. Gordo saying, and one season anniversary of me and Gamers, a big crash here in Brazil. Goodness gracious me. I can't even remember that crash, gosh. I think the Gamer very much struggled towards the end of last season, so didn't he? I think that Gamer just kind of let himself, didn't push as hard, I don't think, knowing that the championship was done and dusted when Troy won it a couple of races before the end of the season. And so, which it does happen, doesn't it? Because Lewis Hamilton did the same thing in 2015 now. But I think Gamer has really done so well in the last couple of races in gold, hasn't he? And I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in gold next season then. Liverpool's at home, great stuff. I would prefer Liverpool away personally, because I just like watching big teams in the little grounds. And young Tommy saying 31st GP's already. Damn, time is flying. Then Kes saying, sorry, retired. I had to go and he had to bath his daughter. Then don't worry about that. Then a lot more things are much more important than Formula 1. So don't worry about that, Keza then, but Keza will have to start from the back of the field, unfortunately, as bath time has arrived a bit too early or a bit too late then, depending on your point of view. James asked if we're watching Spider-Man No Way Home. It looks amazing. I want to watch that film. Whatever happens, I'm going to be disappointed, I think, because I've got so much hype behind it. I'm probably going to have a proper, I'm probably just going to be absolutely buzzing about it in this cinema. They're going to hate me. So I remember I absolutely went wild when Captain America picked up Thor's hammer. Mjolnir. Is it not Mjolnir? No, that's Mjolnir? No, that isn't. Goodness gracious me, I don't know. It's FIFA people going across the line. I am a big Marvel fan then, but I don't know what a Force hammer is. It's absolutely shocking, isn't it? I know what the axe is, because the axe is quite easy. It's the Stormbreaker, isn't it? I think there's something like that. All I know is that I do get very excited when I see men in very tight costumes down the back then into 17.222. FIFA beef is recurring now. Now going up into the middle part of the lap as well. 13 drivers in this qualifying 2 session, and 11th, 12th and 13th were aiming to line up here, as unfortunately we have lost a few drivers in qualifying 1. That is quite an expensive qualifying 1 session for the silver drivers tonight. Lovely shot here then, coming for FIFA Beefy then. FIFA Beefy then, who's also got a default helmet as well. Absolutely shocking scenes here in silver, I must say. I do not enjoy these default helmets at all then. Absolutely, I have hit the roof here tonight then. I'm not really, as much as it upsets me, I'll probably forget about it at the end of the stream as well. But do not forget about it when I start a stream in silver next week, of course, because that's quite important to me, is drivers must have their own identity. Well, FIFA Beefy is gone across the line now on soft tires. I think that's more of a banker lap there for FIFA Beefy, so we'll leave him to it for now then. Here comes the Moles on the medium tires, and of course, if you're just joining us for the first time then, if you're just joining us for the first time in a Formula 1, then welcome. It's the first time joining us in ALR. Welcome as well. And also goes fast as that. Of course, this qualifying 2 session, we are aiming to lose the 3 slowest drivers. Normally, it's the slowest 5 drivers. However, as Wilson took a very long time to get across the line there, because I think he was doing a very quick lap actually. And unfortunately, New Potatoes also invalidated his time as well. So, but of course, in this qualifying session, the caveat is, if you get into qualifying 3, you must start on the tires which you set your fastest time. So if you're on the medium tires, then you must start the Grand Prix on those medium compound tires. Remember what German did last night, and German was on the German was on the soft tyre, wasn't he? And he went a very long way on the medium tyre as well. I was having flashbacks to the Brazilian Grand Prix back in season 2 there, where German was about a lap and a half away from being crowned the silver champion. However, he had a puncture, didn't he? He had a puncture which absolutely cost him the title that day. But of course, he went on in Abu Dhabi. He won the race, and albeit he did very much make it very hard for himself, as we had rain in Abu Dhabi. That's the first time I've ever seen rain in Abu Dhabi. Goodness gracious me. Going up to the line as well, and equals across the line. He goes fastest on an 8 flat then for the McLaren team now. Well, that Wilson comes across the line when Wilson goes a bit quicker, half a second then. If you want to be precise about it, New Potatoes invalidated his time, unfortunately. New Potato also on the soft as well then. Here's Bradfield. He's gone for medium compound tyres then. This is definitely F1 2014, Jamie is saying that. I think you're 7 years behind, my good sir. Of course, that was when the hybrid era of Formula 1 started, wasn't it? 2014. And the cars, when I first saw the cars in Australia, I was a bit disappointed, because I must say I am very much I get very excited like a kid, really, when I hear loud stuff. I get very excited indeed. But when I first heard the not so loud engines and quite a dull tone of these turbo hybrid cars, I was very disappointed at. But what I really liked, and as Bradfield goes third fast, I like that as well. But what I did like was that you could hear the crowd then, and they were cheering out, going wild for Danny Ricciardo, and that was Danny Ricciardo's first time in the Red Bull team, wasn't it, in the 2014 Australian Grand Prix. Of course, those 4 years prior, Red Bull were dominating the scene, weren't they, with Vettel? But Vettel only qualified 12th that day, didn't they? Lewis Hamilton got a pole position in that Mercedes team, didn't they? Of course, that was the first ever hybrid Grand Prix, wasn't there? I've not drove in Australia in months there. Looking forward to it, Gordo saying that. I must say, because it's not the first round of the season in this game anymore, then you don't really drive on it too often, do you? There? But I know that a lot of drivers there are going to be looking forward to Australian tackling it. We're on board with Marnada. She's about to tackle the Interlagos circuit, 2.6 miles, and this was going into the centre S and turn 1 then. Look at how high she is on the bank, and then before she wants to have a nice to better turning angle as well then. But the back end is trying to step out on that Aston Martin, and now down at the back straight as well before we go into turn number 4 then, which I've been very wrongly calling late descent and for goodness knows how long. But there we go. I'm sure Murray Ward would call it that then, so probably I'm just several years behind that. And as JB69 Laugh Out Loud is asking which is the easiest, and as he is looking to join that. I thought you would have known that by now, JB, as of course COBALT is the slowest, well, I wouldn't say it's the slowest league, is it there, of course, but I think in terms of experience in league race, and then perhaps COBALT is on the Wednesday as well, and of course that's the bottom division. Then, however, you've got people like Hammer Time, Starbust, you've got Brooksy, you've got Styles, you've got an abundance amount of drivers who are not so by any stretch of imagination in COBALT, and it's great to watch them. Of course, Hammer Time is under pressure now then. He is the only driver, that's the only driver's championship in COBALT which hasn't been decided then. Martin goes third fastest in the Aston Martin. Still in the middle sector then. Serge Motion then, who looks like he is about to get serious, and as he comes across the grid hatch as well, over the line there, goes 6 fastest then on the slowest so far on the medium compound. We've got New Potato then. We're going to stick with New Potato. There he is, and there he goes then. Of course, the first ever bronze world champion, New Potato. What's that? Just going back to what I was saying earlier on then. Yes, German is now the gold world champion there, as he's the 4th ever gold world champion. Young Tommy, of course, the 4th ever silver world champion, and the 4th ever bronze world champion, and the youngest ever bronze world champion as well as Theo. Unfortunately, I didn't get excited on the stream because of course that was one after the race there, really, was there, which is such a shame. Hopefully that don't happen with Hamilton and Verstappen afterwards in Abu Dhabi, as it seems to be getting very frosty between those two, which I'm absolutely loving. However, there are some times where I thought the driver was a bit interesting to say at least, and here comes New Potato. His driver is always spectacular indeed. However, that time is not too spectacular on the board there for New Potato. He might be a bit concerned by that one. Here comes the other bronze champion in the field, that it is Dylan. I keep forgetting that Dylan is the bronze world champion of season 3 there, because he stepped into silver, and goodness me, he's like a duck to water, as he's been absolutely supreme, has the Dylan Hudson's coming into silver. Magical stuff indeed then. And let's just take a look at some of his stats, shall we call it. He's got 2 Grand Prix wins to his name. He has scored 133 points in 3 podiums as well. And he's only had 4 DNFs in 15 starts for Dylan. Of course, he didn't have no DNFs in the opening several races in his silver career. I think the middle part of the season for Dylan has been a bit rough, hasn't it, for the bronze champion, unfortunately. I think that's what's cost him overall then. However, he has still got a great opportunity then to get promoted to gold for season 7. It is season 7, isn't it? Goodness me, Tom, it's really fun, doesn't it? Oh, Spud there getting a bit squirrely out of young Cal then. I think he was 6/10 of a second up, was he, or something like that then. It's just now going over the grid hatches. Well, the New Potato coming over the grid hatches. Where that's going to pull him, that's much better for New Potato. He's fouled 9/10 of a second on that lap, but he's had 2 laps on the medium tyres. Wilson is fastest there in the McLaren on soft tyres. He did a celebratory DRS open and close there. Lovely stuff indeed then. Oh gosh, I need to learn to breathe, don't I? Jamie saying then, is it always open, or does sign up set up at a certain time then? Of course, the website is always open, www.alresports.com. Of course, go now, click on the join ALR and to fill in your Discord details, because that is where the drivers live, and of course they all live in the Discord server, which is a gaming platform. It's like a gaming app then for everyone to talk and all that kind of stuff, which is cool. I didn't know about Discord until I joined the old Formula 1 world, so it's about 3-4 years ago. So gosh, about 3 years ago. Well, that's scary, isn't it? But yeah, that's where the drivers go and have a natter, and probably sometimes they do get very chatty in there as well, don't they? And sometimes it gets a bit heated there. But of course, that is about competition, isn't it? Serious Mushroom is having issues there as Farf is out of the pit as well. Here comes Farf. Hasn't set time on the board just yet, and Farf hasn't. Farf was so quick in Mexico, and I think he was quick in Japan as well, wasn't he? Look at how hot it is out here in Slagos moment. He's absolutely roasted, isn't it? Goodness me. I hope Farf is covered up, thanks. He doesn't want to get his legs a bit cooked out there, does he, Farf? He is currently in the middle part of that then, just about to get himself sorted and going then as well. Just got Gordo saying, "I'll take my time." Then Chazza has gone, "Hello there." That's his best Obi-Wan Kenobi impression now. Hopefully Chazza knows who he is then, of course, as I get a bit worried about some of my references. I'm quite old now, and goodness gracious me, I've hit 3 decades. We have got Serious Mush said, "Sorry Gordo, my pad is being not being too, it's being a plank really, isn't it? No problem. I was on in lap anyway." Serious Mush don't know whether to quit then, as Serious Mushroom now is having issues, and then he has quit from this session at the moment now. Serious Mushroom is there, so that is not good at all for Serious Mushroom, and this is a major problem now. Jamie there, who is interested in joining the ALR group then as well. So good gracious me then. We had another Jamie, I think, who was a pretty quick peddler in the bronze, wasn't he? But it was a quick peddler in bronze then for most of the season as well. Unfortunately though, it didn't go too well towards the end there. But we're just on board now as we've got a kick-off between Arsenal and Everton. That's good. Hopefully Rafa can get himself sorted out then. I got a soft spot for Rafa, mainly because he took Liverpool for the Champions League in a very interesting squad back in 2005 then, especially with the legend, the great the left back Jimmy Traore, as goodness gracious me, I'm sure he scored an own goal against Burnley or Barnsley in the FA Cup round 3 that season as well. So that's the reason why I remember Traore, unfortunately. We also had, I think, didn't Bishkan score as well? Incredible. Those names just roll off the tongue, don't they? Here's Farfen, and he comes across the line. He goes 7 fastest Farf in the Haas car. That is, at the moment, good enough to get through into qualifying at number 3. That is what we're doing at the moment. Siege is in 12th position moment. We've also got Stair, who is just coming down into Magulio, the dive then as well. We got waiting for someone to come around with a pad that just rang in there. So Serious Mushroom there is trying to get some spare equipment, and good seg. Well done, Serious Mushroom son then. He is to the rescue as well. Unfortunately, Serious Mushroom will be out of this qualifying session then. If the times improve, if they start tumbling down then, and they do tumble down, Slayer is through into qualifying 2. Nope, he's already through into qualifying 2. Make that qualifying 3. Here's Siege then across the line as well then, and look at how much they get to hug the inside barrier there. there. We've got Siege in third position as well. FIFA Beefy, who has taken the scenic route there. I've been down that hill many a times, as has Roman Grosjean. Of course, he had a huge smash there in 2012, didn't he, in that incredible race in 2012, where it was Vettel against Alonso for the championship, wasn't there? Alonso won his third title. In the end, there was it ended on a... Oh, it's Bradfield goes fast there by 10th of a second quicker than Wilson as well. I think it got a bit of a rivalry going on, Bradfield and Wilson having the wheel there. I absolutely love it. Here comes FIFA Beefy. Can he knock far out of qualifying here? And let's go back on board FIFA Beefy. Showing some pace here on the Alpine car. This is great to see for FIFA. We've got a Red Bull. I'm not sure if that's coming out of the pits, and I think that might be Bradfield just on his inlet there as well. Half a second in the first split time there. FIFA Beefy is looking strong indeed then. Gordo saying, come on, Sean, I've never watched that Finding Nemo, and I know what Obi-Wan Kenobi the clownfish is. Oh, goodness me. Of course, Obi-Wan the clownfish, I think he goes by the name of Marvin, doesn't he? Yes, I do like Finding Nemo. That's a cracking film indeed then. Mainly because I also like Bruce the Shark. Yes, we have also got Tommy there saying, gosh, I forgot how long quali takes, laugh out loud there. Yeah, full quali does take quite a bit of time, doesn't it? Goodness me, I'm surprised a lot of you guys are still here. Listen to my waffle. Talking of which, I'd absolutely love a waffle right now. I'd love a couple of waffles, to be fair. I might have to go over my sister's during the weekend and try and get a waffle. And we've just got FIFA going fast as there, and he is really throwing the gauntlet down. Good stuff indeed there. Gordo 6100 second up in the first split time, and Farf is crawling at the moment, and the checker flag has fallen. Where's Maldonado? Maldonado is there, and she's gone fast. I'm not even sure what we was watching Farf for, but Maldonado has gone quickest, and she could knock out her former teammate New Patel here. Farf is not going anywhere in a hurry. What about Gordo? And I think Gordo may be also is also on the cusp as well. But look at that, he's 3/10 of a second up, and he's got a slipstream here from New Patel. The man he's trying to displace here then for Gordo. So New Patel may have helped Gordo and knock him out of qualifying here then. Here comes the Ferrari down and across the line. Has he done enough? It's a 8-3 we're looking for. He has done it, and he is through into qualifying free. Gordo is a New Potato. He probably didn't realise. I'm not sure. He probably did give Gordo a slight bit of slipstream there. He has helped him through into qualifying free there. And Farf, New Potato, and Sirius Mushroom all out of qualifying here. Farfair, who's missing a wing there, but it looks like Farfair's there, so that's unfortunate there for Farf. Farf doesn't like to do too many runs in qualifying, does he? And unfortunately, he has been tripped up again in this one. Farf has there, which so he's now got to do a bit of overtaking there, but Farfair is, like I say many times in these streams, he's a much better racer there. Will saying, always my strategy for today to start softs, get a good start as usual, and when I start midfield, when I start in the midfield, hopefully, show as much of Bradfield has the same stat, same strat then as Jake. Then Gordo saying that was a bad lap for me then. As oh goodness me then. So now as Farf comes into the garage then. Oh my goodness me. So yeah, that's the end of qualifying too. And then Maldonado's fastest so far. Didn't she get pole position around here? I'm sure she did, didn't she? Or am I telling fibs? I'm sure she got pole position here last season. In bronze, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember, to be honest. Goodness me. I might have to get the old book out from last season in a minute. Farfar, unfortunately, out of qualifying now. He's been put on the dolly wheels. He's going to be wheeled back into the garage then, and he is going to be a spectator like you and I. Maldonado very happy at that then. She is fast as out by 2/10 of a second now from FIFA Beefy, looking strong as well. Bradfield and Wilson third and fourth, with Slayer and fifth, Equals in sixth position on medium tyres, along with Siege, Dylan and Immortal. Interesting split there. I'm loving this. Out of qualifying there is New Patel then, as he may have given Gordo a helping hand to get him knocked out there. Far in 12th position now. Serious Rush with some technical gremlins there. Hopefully he can get his controller going then, and maybe his son could swoop in and save the day and get that controller working, and then Serious Russian will be very much in the thick of things, I think, then for the Grand Prix itself. Those are the bottom three drivers then for qualifying number 2. And now we go into qualifying three then, of course, that shot there. And that is where I was actually, that reminds me, because there was a very unusual crash, wasn't there, in free practice 4 or 3 for the 2002 Brazilian Grand Prix, where I think it was Nick Heupfeld. There was a broken down arrows, I think, of Enrique Benodi, and I think Nick Heupfeld there came steaming through the center S there, and that could have ended in disaster. It was very lucky, it really was that. But Nick Heupfeld took off the back door of the medical car, I think. Now, goodness gracious me, that was quite a scary one indeed. I think it's I think a lot of you have probably seen it because it has gone on YouTube. It's been on YouTube for a number of years now, hasn't it? Goodness gracious me, quite a scary one indeed then. Now out of the pits, and lovely shot from the diffuser of FIFA Beefy. Then look in the background there, we have a Ferrari. That's Gordo. I think Gordo in the last half of the season has been much better than the first half, hasn't he? He's very much elevated his game, Gordo has said. I think I said it in Mexico, haven't I? So good stuff indeed there for Gordo. He is on a 5-race scoring streak at the moment there. He's got a podium in Russia, and he got a second in the Japanese Grand Prix as well. So good stuff indeed there for Gordo. Just watching FIFA Beefy. Of course, his last race last week then, of course, returned after a 4-race absence there. So FIFA Beefy, hopefully no more DNFs this season. He unfortunately got 7 so far. We're minus 10 to his account then. Alpine have got minus 20 in this Silver Championship alone, and they have minus 35 in total in the joint constructors. Alpine does, and unfortunately you get minus points there for retiring in the pit lane. Of course, that's why they get minus points. So we don't want to. It's very difficult to carry on. I do admit it's very difficult indeed then when you're a lap beyond all that kind of stuff. But it's trying to discourage drivers there from retiring from the race then when they still have a chance for points and things like that. Then of course you always have a chance for points, don't you? As anything could happen in Grand Prix racing there. But unfortunately FIFA and TK got minus 10 points between them in this season as well. So Alpine on minus 20 in the constructors at the moment now, which is a shame really, because I think Alpine will be well higher up in the constructors as well. Of course, if you take away those minus 20 points there for Alpine, yeah, it'll be on 136 points. Now, it'll actually be in 4th position now. So that is how crucial it is then. 20 points is so tight in the silver category of ALR this season. It's fantastic to watch, isn't it? And it come down into Magulio as well. Got yellow flags. It's one of the Ferraris of Gordo. It's had a cropper indeed then. And now out of Cal then comes FIFA Beef then as he powers up the hill as well. Then. Of course, Alpine, I think, got has almost got double the second. Well, they used to have double almost double what the second place has in terms of minus points in the joint constructors. Across the line, FIFA Beef comes to 7-9 then to start on his way. Lovely. What about Immortal then? What can he do then? Goodness me, he's almost off the track there, Immortal was, and good grief, he has gone pole position by almost 6/10 of a second now. Siege is second fast, and then 2/10 of a second in front, behind Immortal with Wilson in 4th position. Dylan's got pole position. He's ever had pole before in ALR before, in ALR Silver before, has he? He did very well around here last year. As Equal's going 6th fast at the moment, a couple of seconds away then, so he's made a mistake somewhere. Dylan is on pole position so far by about 400 of a second, and from Immortal in 2nd position. Good stuff indeed there. Of course, Dylan clinched the championship around here last season. I'm sure he did then when when his teammate who decided to drive into the back of him. Of course, his teammate, who we're not going to mention any names on the street, but absolutely shambles around here. His teammate was on that day as he completely wiped Dylan out there. Shocking, absolutely shocking it was indeed. But Dylan bounced back there and to claim the World Championship in bronze, and good stuff indeed. By the way, his teammate was me. Just watching Gordo then coming down to Magulio, the dive then. He didn't do too well on his first time run. What about a second one? He's done a 51.4 before coming out of the junction as well and powering up the hill. Let's see, let's see what Gordo can do now. Leaned on the controller there. Now here comes Gordo then going over the pitted. Goodness gracious me, and across the line Gordo comes and he goes 5th fast from there. I gotta say, it's so close there. And here comes Equals. He's on pole position there by a 7-2 for Equals, and Moss, incredible. Here comes Maldonado, and she is 5th fast at the moment, and Maldonado is there. Wow, Equals there has really pulled it out of the bag then. Really impressive stuff indeed that. FIFA Beefy, it's gone down to 6 fast right there. Immortal's going for a 2nd time run as well. This track is so short, and I'm wondering if someone's going to go for 2 or maybe 3 runs here consecutively, and perhaps then this may help them elevate themselves up the order then. It may not for FIFA Beef, as he's unfortunately 2 seconds off the pace like coming out of Juncal. Here comes the Mortar then, and this may help a couple of drivers there, because they do like to go for a couple of runs, don't they? Some drivers do, and this may elevate him up then. 3/10 of a second up. Oh, goodness gracious me, that's in the ballpark here for a Mortar. Out of the final turn and out of Juncal. Mortar's been on pole position 3 times in 11 qualifying performances this season. Can he make it 4? And he's coming over the line as well then. There is the line. Is it enough? It is indeed. Good grief, he has found 3/10 of a second there. Magical. Absolutely magical stuff indeed then. What about Equals? Equals is coming into the pits right. 2/10 second away from a Mortar at the moment now. Gordo is on an in lap, as is Maldonado as well. What an incredible lap there for a Mortar then. So he's gone a bit heavier on the fuel, hasn't he? And of course then, and that is why he got pole position there. Siege has come out then, so he's on a new set of soft tyres. And so Siege wants to go for 3 runs on new soft tyres here tonight. Oh, good grief, and that's what we love about short circuits, isn't it? Good stuff indeed there. I think it's the last race we're going to see maybe qualifying free having a couple of runs then as you go to Australia then, which is not a short circuit, is it? You ain't going to get 3 runs in qualifying free, and nor is Abu Dhabi either. Of course, we're not on the new layout of Abu Dhabi. Unfortunately, we'll be on the old layout of Abu Dhabi, and I don't think they're going to update the new layout of Abu Dhabi in this game, unfortunately. We've got Siege, and now he's going to start us up. Let's go on board with Siege, shall we? Because I've really enjoyed his participation this season in Silver. Then this is his 5th start, and he's had 1 pole position so far. Siege has he also did very well in Singapore, I think was the last appearance he had for Silver. And going over the grid hatch as well for Siege. Here we go then. Into the centre S as well, taking a lot of curb there at Siege. Said he doesn't want to settle the car too much then, and using a lot of the outside curb as well. And goodness me, a bit too tight there into turn 3 there, and he had to correct the car, and surely that is going to lose a bit of time down the back straight. But he's a 10th of a second up Siege. A lot of understeer there, a lot of understeer as well, and he's had to back out there. The car refused to turn in for Siege, and he had to. That's unfortunate for Siege, because he found a 10th of a second in the centre S alone there, and I think turn 3 he could get more time out of turn 3 as well. So I think Siege has definitely very much knows where he can ace that first sector as well. And so Siege said, I wonder if that was just a bit of a I wonder if that is just a bit of just getting himself into the swing of things. Then Siege then, who is now going for another bite to the cherry then as well. Then. So here he goes then as well. Then. So he's now he's just harvesting. He's put a lot more energy back in the battery, and we're back on board with Siege. He's going for it again here, powering up the hill and going over the grid hatch instead for Siege. And hang on to your horse, everyone. This is going to be a fantastic lap then. And there we go then. Once again into the centre S. Replay. And this time not taking too much curb there. And the second part, and I think he was a bit wider than he wanted to be then. However, turn 3 was much more controlled then from Siege, and down the back straight, and sector 1 is coming up here. He is a 10th of a second down then. The third last time around, and he absolutely aced the centre S's, didn't he? This time around it felt a bit more clunky, didn't it, for Siege there? And now into the middle part of that. This is the most important part though, isn't it? This is where you're really going to gain or lose track time here, and a lot of curb into turn 7 there. And now accelerating away down. Of course, you can see all the tire tracks on the tarmac. There is where the traction is really being put down then. And now going down into Magulio, the dive bed. You don't want to get a swapper down there, otherwise you'll be in the wall quite heavily. Second sector, 10th of a second down then. So this is not a good lap for Siege. I think he might abandon and come back into the pits. Has he gotten some new tyres left in the garage for him then? Unfortunately for Siege though, that time then his first lap looked very phenomenal, didn't it? Dylan has gone at 300 of a second down on the first split time there for Dylan there. So it's not his personal best. That's not personal best for Dylan to start his lap then. Well, here comes Equals, and in the McLaren we've got Immortal out on track as well. They're out very early on with just 3 minutes to go in this session. Good grief. And now comes Equals in the second. He's a 10th of a second up. That's good enough, and that is good enough for Equals. And accelerates out of Juncal. Then look at the lighter part of the track. Then that's where the race line is. That's where the early rubber is laid down as he flies past me. Almost taking my moustache off. Over the line he comes down, and for Equals as a pole. It is. It's in the 6. Magnificent there from the equals. Wow. Absolutely sensational stuff, Ben. And look at Dylan. He has got a cheeky solution there from Slayer. And Dylan goes. And he does. He improves by a tenth of a second, but he's faster, but they can't slow the car down. Dylan can't then. Has had a bit too much slipstream then. Here comes Morton now. He has just come out of the sector 2. Now he's 3300s up in the first sector, 3300s up in the second sector. Consistency is king. And that is inching him actually closer to equals, and this is going to be very close indeed. I think there's a 6 in here for Immortal. Over the line he comes, and there's a yellow flag in sector 2, and Immortal, it's not enough, and look at that then, by half a tenth of a second, and goodness gracious me, 400ths of a second separates first and second. Oh my goodness me. Martinado coming across the line to start her lap then. And I wonder, I think this might be now or never now. On board now with Wilson. I think I'm on board the wrong McLaren. Not yet now, I'm on board the right McLaren because Equals is on an in lap then, but it looks at Bradfield accelerating up the hill as his Slayer is as well. Here comes Bradfield. He hasn't set a tire on the board just yet. I think he used a lot of soft tires to get himself in this set. Across the line he comes in, and Bradfield in a magnificent 4th position. What about Slayer across the line? Slayer in 8th position there. Wilson is in the 7th position there. My word then, they're coming through thick and fast. I've got cramp in my foot. It's too much for me. Dylan is going for another one now then. This is all or nothing for Wilson. What about FIFA Beefy? And who is that? That's not FIFA Beefy, is it? That's a Red Bull. FIFA Beefy is now down into the centre and this is all or nothing for FIFA Beefy. Well, the Mercedes and Immortal has got enough more time on the board. He has had a cool down lap. Now he is going for it. Siege has also joined the party as well. Maldonado, who's invalidated her time, but she has enough time for another run out there. What about Gordo? Gordo is not got much time on the board then, so Gordo's going to have to really hop it and skip it and a jump then. Here's Equals, and he is currently fast in the money, and he's on pole position on an 06.9 so far. He's a second down though. Thinking that might be done and dusted for Equals then. And unfortunately then, but what an incredible lap there for Equals. I've just seen it, just since I mentioned that in the comments as well. Magical stuff found from the McLaren driver. He's never been on pole position, I don't think, in silver in his career then, but he's coming into the pits now. Has Bradfield got any more time? No, he isn't. He's in the pits. Well, he might be finishing qualifying a bit earlier here tonight. Oh, goodness me. But here comes Slayer. Slayer has got something left in the bank now, hasn't he? And he has Wilson as well. And Wilson is quite close to the back of Slayer here. Dylan is also quite close as well. And who is that? He's just jumped up 4. It's FIFA Beefy who's just jumped up in the 4th position. Brilliant time for the Alpine car. Really good stuff indeed then. Yes, Jamie said that was a great lap from the McLaren. And checkered flag is falling for Bradfield and Equals. Everyone else can complete their lap then. Immortal has gone quicker. That is enough for pole position. Intermediate 2. He's inches in front. That is enough. It is his pole position for Immortal. Magical stuff indeed. Siege across the line. It's only 5th fast, as I say only. Wow, incredible stuff. But oh, Maldonado is in the wall. Huge smash there. Wilson is off as well. Oh my goodness me. It's their star signs become casualties in this qualifying session. Quarter out of the final turn then out of Juncal in 10th and second up then. He is now coming over the line then. What can Immortal do then? Here he is and hugging the inside wall. Gordo stays, stays in 10th position there. Slayer's 2/10 of a second up here. So can he get himself in front of Wilson and Maldonado here? Then it's very close there, but here comes Slayer. Slayer may have he's not fast in the end. Slayer is close but no cigar. And Dylan also coming into the pits as well. So it's Immortal who is on pole position and for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Wow, love that one. That was great, wasn't it? I absolutely enjoyed that one. Thoroughly entertaining stuff indeed. Immortal gets his 4th pole position of his career in AL Arden. So in his 11 qualifying performances then, Immortal has been on pole position 4 times. 37 hundredths of a second. That separates the top 2 in silver tonight. Magical stuff indeed then. It is very close indeed. Equals is alongside him on row 1 in the McLaren. Dylan in 3rd position there. Dylan there would rather be in front of Immortal, won't he? But at the moment Immortal is 3/10 of a second there. FIFA Beefy back into the... I'm sure that FIFA Beefy got a pole position here in the past. He did get a 2nd position in gold around here. I'm sure he did. Siege in 5th, Bradfield 6th, magnificent. Maldonado in 7th, she might be disappointed. That 8th position is Wilson, Slayer in 9th, Gordo in the top 10 then. I hope you're all sitting comfortably, are you? Because I certainly am then. Well, I won't be sitting comfortably in a minute then, so I will be getting up and getting ready to get going then, because this one is going to be a race where you ain't going to be able to sit down, I don't think. And the championship has been decided for the drivers, not for the constructors as well. AlphaTauri just needs 6 points really for it to be out of reach then for Mercedes. However, Mercedes needs a 1-2, or needs a very solid result of a Grand Prix win there, and VTOT to be up there as well, for the constructors championship to carry going on then. Pillars just said good evening, Pillars. And he finished second in Brazil last night behind the new champion of gold then, which is Gernman. Right then, here we go then. This is going to be it then, as I'm trying to get my composure going then, because I'm very much lacking composure at the moment. But this one is going to be incredible indeed then, isn't it? There is still the battle for second and third on the line, and who is going to be promoted into gold for next season then, between Immortal, Dylan and Fangio as well. VTOD 34 points away then. VTOD needs to get at least 10 points over, a 10-point swing over Dylan, and just to keep himself going in this Drivers' Championship battle for the final promotion spot. It's hot around here. It is very hot indeed around here then. Absolutely incredible stuff then. It was so hot around here indeed then, but let's take a look at the tyre choice then. Hard tyres for Cirrus Mushroom and for VTOD as well. Hopefully Cirrus Mushroom has got his controller working then. Soft tyres for FIFA Beefy. Watch him going into the center S of turn 1. It's not a long run down into the center S, is it? We've also got soft tyres for Bradfield, Manada, Wilson, Slayer and Gordo, and Nude Potato then. All on soft tyres then. Also reflections on soft tyres. Watch reflections fly from the back of the field. Everyone else on the medium tyres. A medium for Immortal, medium for Equals, for Dylan, and for Siege in the top 10. Of course, they are old used tyres, of course, and from qualifying 2. Everyone else on new medium tyres. Farf, Young Tommy. We have got Baguette, Fanjo, TK, and Keza. Keza was on pole position last week, wasn't he? But unfortunately, he had some issues there, and got sandwiched, didn't he, down into turn 1 in Mexico. Hopefully he can have a Hopefully I can have a clean start as well. James asking how many races left in the season. We got 3 more in this one. We got Brazil, then we go to Down Under in Australia before finish off the season in Abu Dhabi. Immortal pole position is 4th of the season, and of his career as well. Equals alongside him on row 1. Dylan in 3rd. FIFA Beefy alongside him in 4th position. Siege is in 5th, and Bradfield is 6th. Maldonado and Wilson is on row 4. 9th position is Slayer with Gordo in 10th position as well. New Potato in 11th, and he's gone for soft tyres. He's going to have an aggressive first opening stint there. Far from 12th position. He never hangs around for too long. Cirrus Mushrooms had technical gremlins in 13th position there. Young Tommy in 14th position with VTOD 15th. He's got a major role to play tonight. VTOD has to keep the Mercedes hopes alive. Baguette in 16th position there. Fanjo 17th. He is second in the championship road. He's got a lot of work to do. TK down in 18th. Keza showed his pace in his first ever Grand Prix last time out in Mexico. However, he got a bit unlucky. And the 20th position is Reflections and 20 cars out of here in the Brazilian Grand Prix. Red lights are on then. We have 4 lights, we have 5 lights, and here we go. It's racing here in Brazil then. Goodness me, wasn't even a hold at all. And look at that, Alfa Romeo, he's sieged past there. And it is Siege as well then. As Marlon up 2 minutes as we go round turn 1 then. And how is it all playing out then? It's very close then, but everyone is through, all fine and dandy. Lovely stuff. FIFA Beefy is already up in the 3rd position. Look at the drag coming down into turn 1. There's yellow flags in the background when the Aston Martins come off. It's Baguette then. And look at this, that's how Williams is having a look as well. That's the Red Bull around. It's Bradfield who's gone off the circuit. Bradfield is well off the circuit there. He's spun off there. He's come back on. That's a dangerous re-entry there. Cirrus Mushroom there is struggling and he's got technical gremlins, I think then. Immortal leads the race then. Equals in 2nd. FIFA Beefy superb on the soft tyres up in the 3rd position as well. What a my goodness! Goodness me, Dylan is off, but Slayer and Dylan have had a huge shunt there, and that is a major crash. There's only a virtual safety car. Gordo's had a 5-second penalty for speeding in, for a quarter cut, and then that's a humongous smash there. And I'm not sure what happened there then, but it's a virtual safety car only as we clean up this mess. Then 5-second penalty for Vitor as well for ignoring yellow flags. Then Dylan and Slayer out of the race, and it's a messy start here in the Brazilian Grand Prix. Oh goodness gracious me then. And that is quite horrific. And virtual safety car from has to adhere to the Delta as Immortal is now racing once again. The pit stops as Farf is in the pits. And we've got Farf and Gordo both in the pits. Mona Equal's not going to leave Immortal alone then, is he, for 1 second there. FIFA Beefy strong in third position there with Siege in fourth. And Maldonado is keeping tabs in fifth position there. Look, we got Farf, Tommy, Keza, Gordo and Baguette all in the pits at the moment. Fando's moved up to ninth position, up to eighth position there. Now as we got to New Potato moving up a few positions while he's now up into sixth position. New Potato is a good start for the Williams team then. Great stuff indeed there. Absolutely mega stuff. Oh, it's a Wilson right off the circuit there, and that is going to really interest the Williams car of Fanjo here. 4 tenths of a second away at the moment. Immortal has not got the DRS zone yet, and both on the same tires. And of course, you have to be within the second of the car in front to get DRS and the drag reduction system, which is when the rear wing opens. And of course, you get a little speed advantage. And Fanjo there is very much got a speed advantage at the moment now, hasn't it? That V-Tot up into ninth position there. That's exactly what Mercedes and him want then. James asks, how did you crash there? I have no idea then, as it looks like that Sarah's trying to come back on the circuit or something along those lines then. As we've got TK who's just got past V-Top then, and New Potato set the fast on the race. Goodness me, as Wilson there just trying to squeeze Fanjo a bit there, but Fanjo having none of it there. Oh goodness me, them banging wheels there. Goodness gracious me, they're both not shy, are they? And out of turn 3 then, and Wilson, oh goodness me, they're trying to come back at him there, but Fanjo's got the DRS then down into late descent as well. Bradfield, who was off the circuit here this time around, or the last lap, or the lap before I should say, is back up in 10th position somehow. How does that happen? Incredible. Hard tire runners of Serge Rusher up to 13th position there, but Serge Rusher is driving with some major problems in that Haas car. Hopefully they can get that sorted out during the race then. We're on board now with Vitor. Jamie saying don't do it Hamilton there in 2019 then. I think that's in reference to where he punted off Alex Albon, didn't he, in the midsection there. On board now with Maldonado as we come out of Yungkao. We're just taking a look back here at that's not FIFA. This is Equals, and he is on medium tires. But FIFA Beefy is strong to live with the pace of Mona from the top two. Mortal, if he wins here tonight, then, and if he wins here tonight at the moment, he would extend his lead over himself and Dylan. With Dylan out of the Grand Prix already, he's going to be absolutely furious. Dylan is with what happened there, but I'm not sure what entirely happened though. So there we go. That's I'm a very good commentator, and I don't know what's been going on. But let's look at the DRS train behind FIFA Beef. Now this is going to get very interesting very quickly, I think, and in this one. Bradfield is all over the back of Wilson and TK. Farf's at the fast out of the race. They're looking very hot. Farf is there on circuit. Kez has got past young Tommy, moved up into 50th position there. Kez also gets the bonus point for fast up there. As TK is going a bit wide, then TK on the medium tires, and TK's having a look on the inside. That's go down to tears, and I think that I'm not sure if Wilson's got damage or whatnot then, but Wilson is limping around at the moment now, as I'm sure it's sort of flick of debris come off the McLaren in an early skirmish then on the opening laps here in Brazil then. We're on lap 4 out of 36 and Immortal still leads and half a second from Equals in second at the moment then. Equals there, a former gold driver, and he was looking very strong, wasn't he? Equals was in the Haas car. Oh, there's a bit of a bump in, there's a bit of bumping at Young Carl there, and then now Bradfield there is all over the Alpine car like a rash here. Oh goodness me, and now we got a slipstream and Bradfield there, look at him, he's coming in, going to over the grid hatch as well. On the outside then Bradfield he's done it, has he? But no, TK coming back up the inside. Magical 17 Maldonado's dropped behind her former teammate. Bradfield's off the circuit there, and he somehow avoided the polystyrene Formula 1 banner there. Good stuff, good advertising there for Bradfield, as Serious Russian just gets past there. So unfortunately Maldonado has dropped behind her former teammate from the earlier on the season then of New Potato as we fly past me as well. Good grief, very I'm guessing it's getting very argy-bargy out there. Equals has got, it's once again TK is very, he's very interesting getting by Wilson. Goodness me, as he's, I think it looks like he's trying to get Wilson to get on with it here. We've got Reflections then, who's done magnificently well from 20th on the grid to 11th in the opening 5 laps there for Reflections. No messing about from the Ferrari driver here tonight. Great stuff indeed. Then back at the front, this is what we're looking at, and here he comes as Equals, and he's up the inside and past the Immortal then, and now the challenge for Equals then is to get out of the DRS range then, and that is going to be a tough Oda challenge indeed. Then TK also in DRS as well, along with Reflections. And look at this, and this Wilson is trying to break that slipstream, and it doesn't look like any damage for the McLaren, as the McLaren has gone shooting off there and going over, and goodness me, he's steaming back on the circuit there, and Siege has got past FIFA Beefy as well. Yellow flag then, as it is for Wilson recovering back onto the circuit. Oh my word, there is as I'm wondering, it's getting very interesting. The center essence tonight, isn't it? FIFA Beefy dropping down to 4th now. He is the highest of the soft runners there. We have got New Potato is not hanging around at all, is he? Fantastic. Look, Siege said, who would like to get a look at Equals there. He's fantastic now, isn't he? Is it Equals? I think it's Equals. It's not what's Equals. I've always called him Equals, really, and it might be Equals, actually. It's only taken me like 6 seasons to get that right. We've got Mortor, who is now out of the DRS range. I said it was easier said than done. Well, goodness me, I've not met Equals. Oh my good grief, fantastic stuff there from Equals head, or Equals, and he is very much flying away, and he's out of DRS range already from Immortal. Here's FIFA Beefy, who is very much in the DRS range as Maldonado unfortunately is dropping down the order. She is really struggling out there at the moment on those soft tires. Those soft tires have had it already then. It is very hot out here in Interlagos there. Goodness me, I've had to get on my old shorts tonight and it's ridiculously hot here. And I'm now just going down to turn number 4 here. My golly gosh, then it's look at New Potato, and he's looking strong. Then Bradfield and Serious Special there are really down a great old dice here, and Bradfield has got past it, but Serious Special on the hard tires has not given that one up. He's used a lot of errors here. Bradfield has a bit of DRS as well. Is he going for it? He's having a look. Not quite then, as Bradfield there had the that DRS of Bradfield there really helped him out there, didn't it? Otherwise he may have started to keep Serious Special behind then. Well, Mortal, I say he's out of the DRS range. All of a sudden, Mortal's back inside the DRS range. Oh, gracious me, that's a fantastic second sector there. However, Equals really pings out of Young Cow and just absolutely accelerates away. And that may be a problem for Immortal then, because he needs to get quite close, doesn't he, to the back of the McLaren. And that McLaren looks quite strong in a straight line here. Look at the slipstream going on between Siege, between FIFA, and between New Potato as well. Fanjo is not too far away. There he is in the Williams in the background there. As New Potato has got a 3-second penalty. That is followed quickly by Farf as well. Reflections have got past Vitard and moved up into 9th position as well. Great driving indeed then from everyone up and down the field. And then here comes Keza then, as we're on board with Keza in his second Grand Prix in ALR Silver then. And he is right underneath the gearbox of Farf. Farf ain't going to be able to have any defence whatsoever. He does it there, and Kez is now up the outside. Passes Farf. Farf dropping down into 15th position there. So unfortunately there for Farf. And just watch it. Equals then, who is now leading this race still. Immortal second position, but Siege, look at this, it's now starting to bunch up, and Equals is struggling in the midfield here, isn't he, because he's really losing an abundance amount of time to his competitors in the midfield there. J-Dog, good evening J-Dog then, as J-Dog is joining us on what has been a very action-packed start here in Brazil then. Equals once again launching off of that Young Cow corner beautifully well, on board with New Potato. Oh, FIFA Beefy going a bit wide then, almost touching the grass there, and that is exactly what New Potato wants there. He doesn't need any more encouragement, does he? The first ever bronze champion out the inside, but FIFA Beefy is having none of it there. Equals has got a 3-second penalty though for his race calls here tonight then. Oh dear, that could be a problem there. Immortal doesn't get many penalties, does he? As far as I remember, and my memory's not very good though, as we're going down into turn 4 once again, and lovely stuff. This is Bradfield and Wilson. And where are they? There they are. Oh, goodness gracious me, this is getting very interesting indeed. Look at this, and look, there is Bradfield on the outside. Oh my goodness me, wheel to wheel down the back straight. I think Wilson's got this one. He has got this one. Oh my golly gosh, said none of them was using DRS for it, eh? Goodness me. Don't know how, I wonder if they got so into the battle that they forgot about DRS there. Of course, you get a lot of toys in Formula 1 these days. Look, Fancho's now right up to the back of his teammate here, as look, New Potato then is letting his teammate go. go there. So New Potato, the first bronze champion there, he shows that he shows he's very much got a racing brain. That's the and you have to have a racing brain, don't you, to win a championship in league race now. I think New Potato knows that Fanjo is quicker at this moment in time. However, New Potato is caught right up to the back of him here, but I don't think he's going to go for a overtake down into the center S there. Equals and still 0.6 of a second be in front of Immortal. And Immortal might be hurting his tyres now, though. So that is another factor that the Mercedes have really got to factor in here. Mercedes at the moment are not winning the constructors at the moment. Into the pits comes Bradfield. Only 8 laps done on those soft tyres. It is a lot hotter around here than it was last night. Absolutely incredible stuff. I might even get me frying egg out there and cook it on the tarmac. I would suggest not doing that because that's probably not very hygienic, is it? It's not very clean, I suppose. Oh, run for the forest there. All we got to do is just wash it in the stream and it's away and good there, isn't it? We've got Equals who, look at this. We've got a conga line then. Equals, Immortal, Siege, FIFA, Beefy, Fanjo and New Potato. First, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth are all in the same shot there. This is an incredible conga line here in Brazil and absolutely magical stuff indeed there. However, FIFA Beefy seems to be dropping away from that conga at the moment there. Troy, good evening Troy. On board with Fanjo as he's now riding the gearbox. Oh my goodness me then. I gotta say, I just get too excited, don't I? As I go down into turn 1 there. Fanjo up into 4th. FIFA Beefy down into 5th. FIFA Beefy is still the highest runner on the soft tires. However, I think New Potato is the quickest runner on the soft tire. Look at this and look at the slipstream going on there as Equals leads with Immortal. Then Siege, then Fanjo in 4th position there. Welsh Maldonado is kind of in no person's land at the moment there. So she's down in 7th position. Maldonado is 3 seconds behind her former teammate New Potato. 8 seconds in front of TK on medium tires. TK struggling for pace here tonight. However, that is going to come back into play, I would hazard a guess later on. And same with Vitol as well on the hard tires. And Serious Mushroom there. There's a lot to still play. There's a lot to what am I saying? There's a lot of play here in this race. Here comes Wilson coming out of the pit lane now. Here comes Bradfield, and the undercut is quite powerful around here, isn't it? So Bradfield and Wilson, they meet again there. Goodness me, as is the bad guy from Buzz Lightyear series end. Is it for the last time? I don't think it will be, will it? Oh, goodness me. As these two seem to meet on track there quite more often than not, don't they? And I absolutely love it. Fantastic stuff indeed. Emperor Zerg, that's it. Just watching Kez, who is all over the gearbox of Serious Mushroom. Serious Mushroom has not got the pace at the moment because he's got some technical gremlins going on with his controller at the moment there. As unfortunately, that's been very unfortunate for Serious Mushroom. He's been driving with one hand tied behind his back, or one thumb, you would say. As you use your thumbs, I suppose, don't you? Down as a reflection has come into the pit zone for the Ferrari team. As reflection has had enough of those soft tyres, and Kez is stayed out and he's done. He's got 2 lap younger tyres at the moment. Immortal would like to get past that. He is quicker. However, Equals has got a quick car on the straight side. So sector 1 and 3 then. Sector 2 is where Immortal's quicker then. Goodness me, it's like Hamilton for Verstappen there from the Brazilian Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago then. So of course Verstappen was quick in the midfield then. However, it was Hamilton who was quite a monster on those back straights, wasn't he? So goodness me, the roles have almost switched then for Mercedes here tonight now. Back on board once again, Fanjo. Baguette's got a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane now. Baguette is out of the Grand Prix as she was near the back anyway, unfortunately for the Aston Martin driver. And now Siegen is going to go for the inside then, but Fanjo is just going to have the outside racing line here. He's just going to be able to pick his braking point. He does pick his braking point. And of course, that's a McLaren off, and that's Wilson who's gone off the circuit there out of turn 5 and 6 by the looks of things there for the McLaren driver. And he's only coming to the pits on those medium tires as well. So that is not going to help those medium tires whatsoever then. Down the as we come down into turn 4. I think it's 4, isn't it? Equals still leads this race on board Siege Run, and yellow flag there as one of the Aston Martin is Baguette then unfortunately out of the race, and as she's had to come in and park the car. Unfortunately, of course, that rule for that -5 point rule does not exist for the reserve drivers, but unfortunately Baguette calling it a day, and hopefully her AI car doesn't get involved too much there, as Kez is just got past. It's okay far through. I think he's just got past a Serious Mushroom as well. We have got Fanjo, who's now all over the back of Immortal, so Immortal may have gone from attack to defense here, as Equals has got a very good run-off. You can count once again, as there is same mode there. Everton there, no goal decision there from Everton, by the way. So unfortunately for Richardson, which is just buzzed at me my phone. I need to turn that off. Immortal down in third one there. Equals just about keeping that first position at the moment, and also FIFA Beefy is now behind at New Potato, which I think having a couple of laps ago, but the top 6 are incredibly so close together at the moment. This is going to be very much edge of the seat stuff indeed there for the top 6 drivers. Anyone in the top 6 drivers can still win this race, I would hazard a guess that, because the soft runners are going to come into the pits there, and the undercut around here can be very impressive indeed. No safety cars just yet in this race, only 3 retirements so far. Huge smart routine, Slayer and Dylan, but get out of the Grand Prix unfortunately as well. 17 cars remain. Now into the mid-section as well, then flat 14 out of 36 around here. This one's just flying by, my word there. I gotta say, I thought it was only like up in the early lap 9 or 10, then good grief. Fangio all over the back once again, and Fangio's done a superb job there, and he would love to have another Grand Prix win there, won't he? Because Fangio so far in 10 races has won 4 of his Grand Prix in, so he's quite a quick customer indeed. Then you see, look at this, he's now Immortal there is throwing the curveball here, he's rolling the dice for the softer for the strategy. And what is he going to do there? Is he going to go on the hard tires? It's the soft tires going to get to the end from here, because I don't think a 2-stop strategy around here is going to be the quickest way. Surely not then, as I know he's quite easy to overtake around here, but I'm surprised. I know Immortal's onto the hard tires then. Well, that is definitely a curveball that I was not pondering about there, but Mercedes has really thrown the dice here, haven't they? Vuitton is just behind them, but both Mercedes on the hard tires, and I'm wondering if the Mercedes was doing some practice runs at the beginning of this session. I'm thinking the hard tires are pretty good around here, and that might be why they've gone for the hard tires. And remember, it's a lot hotter here tonight then, and I think that might be the reason why that the medium tires is the way to go, perhaps. But having said that, the soft tires have done 14 laps there, and I would hazard a guess then that the medium tires should probably do more, double that, shouldn't they? You would think there, but that's a frequently air kind of guess then, roughly speaking. I wonder if New Potato or FIFA might try and get track positioning coming to the pits on this lap or the next lap. Then we're going to have this. This was around about the time that the soft runners came to pits last night-ish, wasn't it? And Fangio takes the lead down the Brazilian Grand Prix then. So he came from the back of the field. He now leads this race then in the Williams and passes Equals and now he is away then. Welsh Maldonado has come to the pits this time around then. She's got a lovely bit of clear track then as well. Maldonado has said so. She is rolling the dice as well, but I think she might be a bit too far back to initiate the undercut here. Immortal's just got past Vita as well. As Mercedes doing a bit of synchronized swimming down the start-finish straight then. Equals head all over the back of Fangio then, but Fangio has got a lot of pace here at this moment, actually, in the Williams car, looking strong indeed and going for another Grand Prix win. And this will be the 5th Grand Prix win in his 11 race stint in silver. Farf has got a 3-second penalty. Maldonado is coming out of the pits now. She needs to get out in front of those Haas cars if she wants a clean bill of track, and she does have a clean bill of track then. Serious Mushroom then is not let Farf go here. I wonder if Serious Mushroom has found a controller that works now, and he might be now starting to get himself into this race. And we're almost at half distance then in the Brazilian Grand Prix. Coming over the pit lane as well. Then once again the medium tires are coming to the pit side. Wilson's got a 3-second penalty. New Potato's not coming to the pit side. So New Potato, I'm surprised they come in the pits that time around. FIFA Beefy has come into the pit side, and so the Alpine mechanics then are ready and are ready to take their driver. And where is FIFA Beefy going to come out in then? I think that there's a car off. It's Farf off then. It's a young cow, but it looks like Farf is trying to get that car going then. As there's some issues then for the Haas team then. FIFA Beefy, where's it going to come out then? He's going to get out in front of Kez then. I think he will then. That's a beautiful gap for FIFA Beefy, because in front is V Todd and Immortal, so he can really put the hammer down and get some qualifying laps in. Now this is a crucial part of this Brazilian Grand Prix. I'm really loving this one at the moment as well. By the way, Arsenal's winning against Everton. I'm really enjoying this Grand Prix at the moment. Absolutely mega stuff indeed then, I say. Fangio is still not pulling away from Equals. This is that, which says Fangio is steamed right to the front of the field. He now has track position. However, has he got the speed? I don't think he has at the moment. Equals are looking very good there, coming out of Young Cow. Siege there is also just seeing what he can do there, just staying in the facility at the top two at the moment there. Equals there is gaining in, but believe it or not, that's long drag from Young Cow up to the centre S there. It's not long enough for Equals this time around. New Potato, exactly half distance, now comes into the pit set. However, FIFA Beefy there would be absolutely storming around, and his sector times, I don't really know, unfortunately, but I would assume his sector times are absolutely flying then compared to VTOD, of course, and he's taking 3/10 of a second out then on that little bit of track around Young Cow alone there. So I think that FIFA Beefy would be out in front of New Potato. New Potato's coming up now. It's going to get very close indeed there. There is FIFA Beefy. Look there. No, there's FIFA Beefy on the outside. Where's New Potato? Looking at it. So that has done it. And so FIFA Beefy pitted laps earlier, and now he's in front of New Potato. There's a 2-second gap between themselves and Siege then. Of course, Immortal's a bit further up the road, of course, then, isn't they? After he came in the pits very early on indeed then, but FIFA Beefy could be in a net second here then. However, the top three will probably be going on to the soft tyre from here on in then. Immortal, I'm not sure. I think that maybe the hard tyre may have been a wrong choice around here. This is going to get very interesting indeed then with on lap 19 now as well. Of course, no safety cars yet either. Touch wood. Brilliant stuff indeed there from all the drivers. They've only had one major incident then, which I thought would be a safety car. However, that wasn't the case, was it? Back at the front then, Fanjo still leading by 7/10 second now from Equals, and Siege in second and third position now. Immortal has got a 17-second gap between himself and Siege at the moment there. TK is really showing some pace out there, but look at this, and the undercut didn't last too long there for FIFA Beef, because New Potato is back past now. New Potato needs to really get some laps under his belt, and he needs some qualifying laps now, as his outlap wasn't too bad, he got past New FIFA Beefy. Into the pits comes Farflames, and 15 laps on those soft tires, as the drivers had issues earlier on this race and probably needed a safety car. Young Tommy, who has scored at every single race so far, is perilously may not be able to score here tonight, and he's not pitted yet, and he's down then for the net. And that is music to the ears of the Mercedes team. I'll have to get the old I'm gonna have to get me old math hat on in a minute. Wow, look at that! New Potato then, very opportunistic there. VTOD gave him just about a racing cars width there, just about gave him a Williams width there. Oh, brilliant stuff indeed there for New Potato, and that's what you need to do if you want to win a Grand Prix then, when you're very much so close there in this race, and fantastic stuff there for New Potato. Great overtake. Equals in the pits and with 16 laps on those soft tyres then. So is that going to be too much then for the soft runner, for the soft rubber then of Equals? And he comes out the pits now. Immortals just got by him here. New Potato is not going to get by him at all then, is he then? So New Potato has not done enough then. Equals that shows the lightning pace there of the front runners there. Goodness me. And look, the undercut. Oh gosh, they're almost on the inside of Immortal there. FIFA there, very close to the back of New Potato as well, going into turn 4. And they accelerate out now as well. TK there is in 5th position from there. He's kind of he's in no man's land at the moment there, as he is not pitted there. He's 2 seconds behind this battle here, and about 2.1 seconds in front of New Potato. I wonder if he might become a bit of a thorn in the side for New Potato. I wonder if Alpine make employability tactics. Into the pits comes Fanjo then, and Siege as well then. Now I think that now Mortal will be leading this race, and I think then Wilson's got a 3-second penalty. His race has become an absolute nightmare in the McLaren, unfortunately. Equals said is all over the back, and the Williams mechanics are servicing Fanjo now, and look at this, and Immortal's defended it, but he can't defend the undefendable then, because look, Equals is through, takes the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Fanjo's coming out of the pits here, as Equals there, and he can see his rival coming out of the pits there, but of course there's Siege is just a bit too far back here. Fanjo's going to take the lead, he has taken the lead there, magnificent laps there from Fanjo, and the Williams garage, I think at the end of the pit lane may have been crucial here. Wow, incredible stuff, and Fanjo leads the race there. Equals is going to be wondering how that's happening, but that lap behind Immortal, I think, has cost him the Grand Prix lead here, and maybe even the Grand Prix win as well. My golly gosh. Just now watching FIFA Beefy in far the fast up the race there, as he is flying at the moment on those new soft tyres of Young Tommy on softs as well. And where can Young Tommy finish this race? Same with Kez as well, down in 12th position. Kez is TK in 11th position. He's going to be on fresh soft tyres as well. We've got a Haas car off the circuit. It is Farfair who's looking very gingerly coming out of turn 3. So the Haas car having a couple of issues, unfortunately. Farfair Siege is now over the back of Immortal. The hard tyres may not have been the the right way to go then, because the Mortal is being swamped now. Equals set the fast out of the race, and Siege is through as well. Siege is now up into third position there. And no Siege jokes for now, is it then? TK is all over the back, and who is off the circuit? That's Serious Mushroom off the circuit now. And Farver's got a 10-second penalty there. He has skipped the whole of the circuit there. And TK is now alongside Reflections. Reflections done 8 laps on these soft tyres there. And that just shows what new rubber does then with rubber that has been going around this circuit then for 8 or 9 laps then. So TK now up into 9th position. Next target, Maldonado, 12 seconds up the road then on medium tyres. Maldonado is that. She's not going to be a slouch, is she? Young Tommy moving up into 13th position. And as it stands, Mercedes are not going to win the Constructors' World Championship. So as it stands, AlphaTauri, well, are going to win it, but they're not going to win it in a blaze of glory here tonight, though, are they? Good grief, as they have, they've had pretty, this is probably the worst race they've had in silver this season. Good gosh, so unfortunately, Dylan out of the Grand Prix earlier on this race, and Tommy, they're down in 13th position there, causes these, it was a bit out of play here. And here comes Farfen, and of course just recovering earlier on. Then Fangio set a fast out race as he's now extended his lead there and going for another Grand Prix win there. Up the inside goes Farfen, passes Wilson. Here's Bradfield as well, and goodness me, it's a sweep this way and that way. Bradfield having a look then, goodness me then. It's a titanic battle between these two drivers here tonight. It's been very impressive. It's been very interesting indeed that as on board now with FIFA Beefy, who's just trying to, I think he was just trying to annoy him. New Potato there. Maldonado is all over the back of VTOD. VTOD is staying out a very long time on those hard tyres. Serious Mushroom has finally come into the pits, and Tommy has set a fast out race, and he may be able to get a point in every single race then at young Tommy's end, but as you do get a point now for fast up wherever you finish, and of course head that fast as happening, because it keeps the drivers more intrigued then as the race goes on then. Gaps are now starting to really open up now. VTOD then, I think, will be in the pits, and Serious Mushrooms out on the medium tyres. I'm surprised by that for the Haas team now. I thought he would have gone on the soft tyres. However, I think Mushroom has had a pretty difficult day then with the issues that he's had back at this battle here then, as Wilson, Bradfield and Farf, who is trying to get away from this battle because he probably doesn't want to be too involved then in this Goliath battle then between Bradfield and Wilson. Goodness me, it feels a bit personal there. Whoa, my goodness me, on the outside into Magulio. Fantastic manoeuvre there from Cass on the outside of Reflections. What a manoeuvre there, and he is now up in new 10th position there. Brilliant stuff there from Keza. Magnificent. There's VTOL in the pits there, and look, New Potato then is now all over the back of FIFA B. Goodness me, that is, he's trying to run him out of road there. I think Keza may have overtaken the race tonight. Fantastic stuff out of the outside of Magulio. Yes, Reflections did have 11 laps on his tyres there, but still, that is so brave, isn't it? Look at New Potato there, really pushing FIFA Beefy. Look in front of us, there's a Moltor. He's done 8 laps on those hard tyres there. The medium tyres don't think are going to fall off the cliff, and softs may do. So I think that these drivers have very much got to keep the top 3 honest then. However, Fangio is really pulling away at the moment now. Serious Russia's got a 3-second penalty, unfortunately, for his efforts then. Reflections are now out on the medium tyres. I thought Reflections would have gone on softs again, and if he may not have any new ones, unfortunately. Now climbing up the hill once again, and the Williams there is all over the back of the Alpine car. We have also got Bradfield and Wilson again now going on the inside down into turn number 4. Is it? Oh gosh, New Potato. Contact there down into turn 1. Oh goodness me, and goodness gracious me, then is FIFA Beefy defending this for all he's worth, because this is a great drive from FIFA Beefy. He does well in Brazil because he finished second here on his return to LR a couple of seasons to go, and now New Potato back up into 5th position there. FIFA Beefy though just needs to stay in his wheel tracks of the Williams car, and he will be able to goodness me, he will be able there to get in front there, because New Potato has a 3-second penalty there. Bradfield, well, I think, was very close to the back of Wilson there. Wilson has got 12 laps on those tyres. Reflections also close to the back of Serious Mushroom, who's a limping Mushroom tonight, unfortunately. Major troubles there from as into the pits comes Bradfield there, and so Bradfield there limping back into the pits, unfortunately. just on board then with FIFA Beefy, as I said, and he's just got to stay. He's got to stay within 6 seconds actually, because look, down the penalty so far. It is 3 seconds for equals, and he will be currently losing that second position. And with Siege going up in the second, then Immortal's got no penalty. New Potato's got 6 seconds there. FIFA got no penalty at all, and he's also gaining on New Potato here. Oh, he's got a penalty now. Well, goodness me, it's the curse of the commentator. We got Washman on at 3 seconds as well. She needs to make sure she stays away from TK, but TK is coming at her like a freight train at the moment. Down the inside, that's a rubbish camera angle. I've got 2 bad camera angles there. FIFA Beefy rubbing wheels in with FIFA Beefy, but he's through, and I had a rubbish camera angles there. Goodness me. But the Alpine car is back in front of the Williams. Had 10 laps to go in this Brazilian Grand Prix, and this has been a very much tense affair, hasn't it, to say the least. But there's been a lot of grudge matches out there. Reflections there all over the back of Mushroom here then, but the straight is not long enough for Reflections, no penalty at all so far. Hats off to the Ferrari driver, who's done very well this season as the Reflections has, and currently he is also staying out of the drop zone as well. So Reflections there still in 70 finish there, not getting relegated back to gold so far. Reflections, and I think that is a reflection, pun intended, of a very good season then for the Ferrari. Here is New Potato then coming back at FIFA Beefy then, as goodness me, it has been getting very hair and scare between these 2 drivers, and out the inside there, Maldonado's within 5 seconds of these drivers now. Is their battle, their incredible intense battle has been great for the viewership here. I've been really enjoying this one. However, there's a motor in the background, in the foreground, but however, and there's Malnado in the background. However, third time's a charm. They are just losing a lot of time between this incredible battle, aren't they? As of course we love it though, don't we? Is that sometimes it is more than just about letting the car go. It's about pride as well, isn't it? Wilson's got a penalty there, unfortunately. Yellow flag as one of the McLarens is gone off there. It is Wilson there who's having issues there out to Young Cow. Unfortunately, there is now we've got Fangio just lapping it. Well, no, it's just going into Mugulio the dive head. Now Immortal is really struggling on these hard tires there. Well, he's not struggling, but in terms of what New Potato is doing, and he's now starting to catch that. Reflections is past Serious Mushroom, getting passed down, and look, Reflections is not too far away from Gordo, who's done 24 laps on those medium tires. Gordo is sinking down quite heavily in this race out, and I think there's Reflections there have been liking to get past Gordo. That V-Todd may be too far up the road, then Serious Mushroom and a look on the outside here. No Diceman, and FIFA Beefy is now right in the wheel tracks once again, and goodness gracious me there, Siege's got a penalty. I think that's the second penalty there. Where is FIFA? Look at this, and goodness me, contact, and there's more contact there over FIFA Beefy, somehow keeping the car on the track. Wow, and well, my goodness me, that was very robust indeed, wasn't it? Goodness gracious me there. FIFA still has the advantage, doesn't he? Because he could just sit behind here. New Potato here, and New Potato's got an extra 3 second penalty. The Ferraris now, the Ferraris of Reflections got past Gordo, and Gordo dropping down. He's done 25 laps on the medium tires. We know the medium tires could go very long way there. He did 28 laps last night, didn't they, in the hands of Gurman, and oh my gosh there. So I think the Gordo may be going for that strategy. However, his medium tires are looking far from the best there. Serious Mushroom is now is going on the inside of Reflections there, passes Reflections and up into 12th position there. Serious Mushroom's on a wobble, and Reflections on the inside there. Wow, how did it not come to blows there? Fantastic racer now on the outside there of Reflections there. He's passed the Serious Mushroom. Mega stuff indeed. I'm loving this, and brilliant stuff indeed there. And oh, so we now got Bradfield in. Whoa, goodness me there. I think that may have been coming all the way through the race there. They may have come to blows earlier on as well there. And we just got New Potato on the inside going down into turn 4. Oh, goodness me. Goku said good evening, Goku. Then, of course, stars in at COBALT then. It's going to be a very important day for COBALT then. That's the only Drivers' Championship which is left for grabs, and Hammer Time. And Hammer Time and Starburst, and I think it's about 13 points the gap is in the Drivers' Championship. It is going to be very a tense affair then in Interlagos, and Hammer Time needs to very much get back on that form that got him in front of the championship. However, that he's the last 2 races that he has thrown away potentially a certain Grand Prix leader, potentially a Grand Prix win, potentially, but Reflector trying to defend from Serious Mushroom. And this is really, really enjoying this battle, and this is not for points then, this is just about for pride then. And these drivers that are really going on at hammer and tongs, and I love it. And here is Immortal, New Potato, and FIFA Beefy, 30 out of 36 here. There is 7 more laps to go in this Grand Prix around here. FIFA Beefy then, of course, and Immortal has got no penalties whatsoever. So I think these drivers would like to get past and then just try and put their toes down. But this has been an absolutely incredible battle. Farfet's just got past Gordo in a very unusual place there for Farfet. I think Farfet may be a bit unhappy that I've missed that overtaking opportunity maneuver, because looks like, well, he's back behind Gordo now. On board with Farfet, who's not really much to write home about tonight. Farfet, unfortunately, but he's all over the back of the Ferrari, and he is really very much pushing him up the hill. And Gordo may need a push, I think, at the end of this one. And those tyres are very much at the limit and beyond. Then TK as Farfar giving him a bit of a wheel there. I'm not sure if Farf was either thanking him or was a bit unhappy about what occurred then earlier on the lap, perhaps. And I cannot comment because I did not see it. Reflections and Serious Mushroom just can't seem to decide on who is going to finish where. But New Potato is through, passing Immortal. The hard tire choice of Immortal is not really going too well now. And FIFA Beefy has also squeezed past as well. I think that is very much a visual showing that the hard tires is not the way to go. Keza is now up into 9th finish there, but right behind TK on the same line for soft tires. Sir Young Tommy, the champion, who's now in the top 10 as well. And at this moment, then the Tommy's got a 3-second penalty. At this moment in time, then it will be a AlphaTauri World Constructors Championship. Then in the 4th season, they are so good stuff indeed. There were 5 laps to go. Hats off then to the Italian team then. Really, they've been really impressive. I think they're the only team in ALR in all 4 leagues then to have a 1-2. We've only had 1-1-2 this season as well from any team. Incredible, isn't it? And the amount of times we've seen that the potential we could have had a 1-2, but unfortunately could have, but doesn't butter no parsnips, does it, unfortunately. Fancho is 8 seconds in front of Equals now, who's in 2nd position. Siege in 3rd then. New Potato is now in the 4th position. A great drive from New Potato. Brilliant drive from FIFA Beefy. Immortal needs to stay within as FIFA almost off the circuit there, and that is going to entice Immortal there. Immortal is struggling for pace then, but FIFA needs to find 3 seconds from that Mercedes driver to stay in front there. New Potato needs to find 6 seconds to stay in front of the Mercedes car. Maldonado, who's also homing in as well then, but at the moment she needs to find a bit more pace then, doesn't she? Maldonado does said to get Immortal concerned anyway, if I ever got me words out. Diash saying an epic race, and it really has. We've had no safety cars there, and there have been some amazing battles, haven't there, up and down the field. And 17 cars remain, and there's not been many DNFs at all tonight. Magnificent 17 on board Keza, Reflections, and Serious Mushroom there. Once again, then just look at this. Serious Mushroom's had a great run then, and going through turn 3 as well. The Reflections there, it's not having any of that. Then once again, we're looking the wrong way. Then we're on board with Serious Mushroom. Then look, he's got a bill of slips. He's got bill straight line speed there on the outside, the Reflections on the inside as well. Magnificent driving there from both cars, and it's Reflections there just showing him the wheel there. Great driving from both, absolutely magical stuff indeed. I'm loving that. Then I've said magical too many times tonight. As that's a McLaren. I got very on edge there because I thought it was a different car. Keza struggling for pace then around to go on the outside of TK. And TK is still in front of Keza in his 2nd Grand Prix. As young Tommy is 8 seconds back about now with V Todd not scoring any points here tonight. Then, and as it stands, Mercedes are not going to be the Constructors Champions. There will be the AlphaTauri. Mercedes needed an incredible point swing here tonight, and the gap needs to be under 88 points. That's not been the case at all, and unfortunately, unfortunately for Mercedes, they're not good. They're not keeping the Constructors Championship alive, and And of course, AlphaTauri are the Constructors Championships. Constructors Championships. Well done indeed. And Farf is struggling now. He's really cruising home now. Farf is now serious mushroom now. Goodness me. And got a great run out of turn 3. Mushroom did. And really absolutely lunged down there. Brilliant 17th. Then now, as Reflections there is not going to give this one up there. This has been a brilliant battle between Reflections and Serious Mushroom now. Absolutely mega stuff indeed there from both drivers. Kez has got past TK. And now Kez in 8th position, and he will equal his best finish in ALR with 8th position in the last 2 races then for Keza. But he does, can he get him? He needs to catch Maldonado with 6 laps to go. We've got yellow flags there as there's Wilson there who has gone off down in turn 4. As it's been a nightmare race for Wilson. As qualifying was very good indeed, but the race itself then is a race to forget then, I think, for Wilson. Unfortunately, down in 16th position, and Bradfield down in 17th as well. Franjo is now almost at 10 seconds in front of Equals. No penalties either then. New Potato's got a 6-second penalty. FIFA has got a 3-second penalty. FIFA will finish 5th at the moment there with Noob going down into 6th position now. As Wilson there just letting Keza and TK through. Going down into Magulio, the dive, and Reflections there is coming back. Alan, this is great entertainment. I am loving this. And up the inside then, Serious Mushroom. And Reflections is past now. And FIFA Beefy's got a 5-second. FIFA Beefy's out of the race there. Okay. So FIFA Beef is on course for 4th position there, but he's just come in and called it a day. So that's another points deduction there for FIFA Beefy. And that's a shame there as well, because he was doing a great job out there. And yeah, I'm not sure what happened there for FIFA Beef, but he's out of the race there. Oh, FIFA's got no fuel. Oh, no, FIFA's got no fuel then. And he is out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately. And Reflections there is now, V Todd is down into the points then. Tommy has got 2 here now. Can TK then in the Alpine car, the only driver then for Alpine then left in this race, and they could be able to get some points on the board. Fanjo, who is now 9.5 seconds away, then Equals in 2nd position, Siege in 3rd, then 4th position is Nupteo, Mortal in 5th, Marnado in 6th, and Keza is now veteran. His best place finish was 7th today. 8th position TK, 9th is young Tommy, 12th position is V Todd, then 11th and 12th position, who probably deserves, I would say, a point in this incredible battle between these two. I've absolutely enjoyed this one between Serious Rush and Reflections there, as now as Reflections again really backing off the throttle there. That's very good stuff indeed there for Reflections there. We don't see much of Reflections, do we? But which is, I think, a crying shame, but he's done a really good job this season. He's been one of my stars of the season. All right, then we have got Fanjo, who is now there on the final lap then of this in this Brazilian Grand Prix. He started from way down the order, didn't he? Where did he start? He started down in 17th position there. Fanjo did that, and now then he is just crawling then as he is letting Reflections and Serious Russia go then, so they can continue their battle then right to the bitter end then between those two. But here comes Fanjo, and this is going to really strengthen his grasp on that second promotion spot then, and Fanjo cross the line, and he wins his 5th Grand Prix of his silver career across the line. Magnificent stuff there from Fanjo. Really well done indeed then. Equals is going to come across across the line in 2nd position there with Siege in 3rd there. New Potato may just about get 4th position here. Well, no, he won't, because I think Immortal's going to get 4th as well, but unfortunately that's not enough for the Mercedes today. And AlphaTauri are the Constructors World Champions. AlphaTauri are the Constructors World Champions. It may have been a nightmare race today for AlphaTauri, with Dylan down in 19th position and out of the Grand Prix before he even turned the wheel. And we have also got young Tommy, who comes over in 9th position now, and he gets the Constructors Championship over the line. Then Farf gets the fastest lap then as well, so he claims the point as well. Farf does really good stuff. Congratulations to the AlphaTauri team, the Constructors Champions for season 4 of ALR Silver, and they have had a pretty good season, and I think they've been, Dylan and young Tommy have been the best team out of all 4 ALR leagues, in my opinion. And they are the only team to get 1-2 as well in all 4 leagues in ALR. Really good stuff indeed there for young Tommy and Dylan. Your best performance. That's the best team performance then out of all four divisions. Magnificent 17. Fanjo tried today then, no dispute from here because he gained 17 positions there. We're saying, wow, 32 laps there for Gordo. Did a really good job indeed there. So Gordo went a couple laps better than German there. He very much tippy-toed home there. Gordo did that on the medium tyres there. Fanjo though is a top step of the podium with the McLaren, second of Equals then, and third position there was Siege as well then. So yes, great stuff indeed there for Fanjo. He's going to get fed up with talking to me, I think, by the end of this one. But yes, indeed, the AlphaTauri are the Constructors World Champions there. That is the main headline for the Brazilian Grand Prix here tonight. And Equals has really extended his grasp on second in the championship. Then Dylan has really got an uphill struggle now, and I think that hang on, let me get my mouth out. I think Dylan has got an outside chance of it's a very slim chance of getting second now, and maybe even third for Dylan, unfortunately, as his mid-season struggles there have really come to roost later on in the season. And final classification then from the Brazilian Grand Prix. Fanjo, his fifth Grand Prix win of his career and the season as well. Equals, brilliant driving second there. CJ third there. Immortal, no penalties in fourth then, but I'm wondering if that hard tyre strategy really cost him. New Potato in fifth, Welshman Otto in sixth, and Keza best result in seventh there. TK eighth, and Young Tommy in ninth, and V Todd in 10th position there. Reflexive, serious special, and brilliant battle of the day, 11th and 12th there. Gordo in 13th, Bradfield 14th, Farr 15th, Wilson 16th. Retirements with Beefy, Baguette to Dylan and Slayer all retired then from the Brazilian Grand Prix. Oh, hang on a minute. I've got to quickly get comfortable here because I'm as stiff as a board. Fanjo, what a performance today then, my good sir. Another Grand Prix win then. That's your fifth Grand Prix win of the season and your second Grand Prix win in the row. You're getting fed up with talking to me out, and you know, aren't you? Ooh.
Oh no, I never get tired of talking to you, man. Oh jeez, it was getting a bit boring there at the end of the race, but no, it was exciting anyway at the first lap, I will say.
Talk us about your first lap because I got to say there's a lot of carnage going on and we had a huge smash with Slayer and Dylan there. But talk us about it from your point of view then because we didn't see much of your opening lap.
Yeah, so like first of all, I obviously didn't actually mean to crash on the intermediates, but anyway, whatever, that happens. So I started from the back, which is fine. But yeah, like I got past turn one, and then I saw Tommy kind of slowing down. He kind of let me by. I think he was trying manual gears or whatever. So that got me a few places. And then I think as I was going through the fast right-hander, four cars just went completely off circuit, like parted the Red Sea for me. And I basically got through like a good five places just from that. And from then on, like it was kind of a little bit easier because I was in people's DRS, so I was able to keep pace with the software. So yeah, got a bit lucky on the first lap, I must say.
And then yeah, but by the sounds of it, you were sitting very pretty behind the software there. Was you thinking, oh, this is my moment then, or was you a bit concerned about maybe the medium runners undercutting you? But having said that, then the medium runners were nowhere near you when you came out of the pits.
Yeah, so when I caught up to them, I actually forgot that they'd started on mediums. I was cruising control, like thinking, oh, I'll come out in soft tires, they'll be out in mediums, but then I realized I actually have to try and overtake them. So I took my time and I overtook Immortal, I think, and then just before the lap before, is it a Quasar went into the pits, I overtook him, and I managed to get like a second gap on him, and then I did a really quick on my in lap so that I was able to get ahead of AC Mortal and uh, a Quasar. So yeah, it worked out well for me in fairness.
Yeah, I don't think I appreciated that in lap too much at the time then because I was absolutely in awe when you came out of the pit lane and you were just so far in front. I was like, wow, where did that come from? That was a magical lap then. I think that was probably the most work you've done all through the race, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, 100%. And in fairness, I did get a little lucky. Like I saw the Quasar come out and saw us to be right behind Immortal on hard, so that must have slowed him up a bit because otherwise I definitely wouldn't have got out ahead of him. And the key was I got out ahead of him and outside DRS, and from then on I just one lap fresher tires and in cruise control really.
Really good stuff. Well done tonight, Fanjo. Absolutely, last stint there looked very much like a Sunday drive on a Monday afternoon. Beautiful stuff. Fanjo, that was your 5th Grand Prix win this season. Brilliant stuff indeed there. And what a fantastic race that was in Brazil, wasn't it? We had no safety cars at all. We had a virtual safety car at the
I
beginning there.
couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Dylan out of the Grand Prix earlier on then. But apart from that, the Alpha Tauri are now the Constructors' World Champions as well. It's all done and dusted in silver, or is it? Fanjo's looking very strong for second, and Immortals also extending his lead in third. But it's never over until it's over. Silver will be back in action as we go down under for the Australian Grand Prix. Tomorrow night it is bronze end. Theo is going to have his championship celebration, isn't he? After he missed out in Mexico, after it was won in the stewards room. But Theo did such a great job up until this season. He deserves that, doesn't he? So we'll see you tomorrow night for whilst Theo and